Hello everyone, welcome back. In today's video, we're doing a new series here. We're going to do a trade tree video. We're going to be talking about a trade that happened a couple of years back and how it's affected both the Habs and the Flames. And with all that coming up right now. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video here at the Internet Hockey channel. Now before we get started, don't forget to like this video and subscribe down below. Thank you for your support when you do stuff you guys. So if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe button down below and don't forget to comment down in the comment section below so you can also say this video. So I'm going to try something new here. I wanted to do this for a couple of months now, so I'm going to try and see how well this does. So this might be just like a once a month thing. It might be an every other week thing. I might make this like a weekly thing, but I'm going to be looking at past trades from about 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago and how those trades have affected those teams and where the trade trees led them to where they are today. So we're going to be looking at a couple of them over the next little while. I want to start off with being the first video and me being a little bit backed up on posting videos. I want to start out with a smaller trade tree here to discuss. So we're going to be looking at a trade that happened back on February 14th, 2022. So it was an intriguing trade that happened at the time. And I think it's worked out pretty well for both the Flames and the Habs. So the trade is as follows. The trade was the Calgary Flames acquired Tyler Toffoli from the Montreal Canadiens. This was, I think, at the beginning of the Montreal Canadiens teardown. In exchange, the Canadiens acquired Emil Heineman, Tyler Pitlick, a conditional first-round pick in 2022 or 2023 that also would have led to a conditional fourth-round pick in 2024 and a fifth-round pick in 2023. So the full trade wound up being like this. So it was Emil Heineman, Tyler Pitlick, the 2022 conditional first-round pick. The condition was with the Calgary Flames. 2022 first-round pick was in the top 10. Then they would send the Montreal Canadiens their 2023 first-round pick along with their 2024 fourth-round pick. But that didn't happen. The pick was outside the top 10, so the Montreal Canadiens got the 2022 first-round pick for the Calgary Flames, and they didn't receive an extra fourth-round. So it was a 2022 first-round pick, a 2023 fifth-round pick, Heineman, and Pitlick. So it's an interesting trade for both sides. We'll look at the Montreal Canadiens side and how they've fared so far in this deal. So first, we'll go with the smaller piece of this deal, and that was Tyler Pitlick. The Habs acquired him. He wound up being a serviceable bomb 6 forward for the rest of that 2021-2022 season. He was a serviceable guy for the Montreal Canadiens. He put up a goal and 3 points in 14 games with them. Didn't put up an overabundance of points, and he would leave as a UFA the following year. I think he signed back with the St. Louis Blues after that. So it was a very low-end acquisition there for the Montreal Canadiens. I think it was just like a roster spot that they needed to acquire in order to sort of make the trade work, and it wound up being that he left as a UFA. So Pitlick wasn't a huge important piece for that deal, and that branch ends of the trade tree. Then they used the 2022 first-round pick, which wound up being 26 overall, to go ahead and select Filip Mesar. Mesar was a really good, I think it was a Slovakian prospect there for the Montreal Canadiens. He looked like he was going to fit in very well with the Canadiens. Last year had 52 points in 45 OHL games. He's playing in his first pro season this year, playing over in the AHL. Has 5 points in 5 games. It's not looked overly bad for the Montreal Canadiens in the AHL. So that's a pretty good pickup there for the Canadiens. It looks like Mesar eventually will be a solid middle 6 forward, and if he can turn out to be a solid pickup there, that could be a very fantastic draft pick used there for the Canadiens. So that was another thing they took in that deal. And that 2023 fifth-round pick they kept, and they used to select goaltending prospect Yevgeny Volokhin. Volokhin was a 2023 fifth-round pick, as we said, number 144th overall. He's currently still an unsigned prospect with the Montreal Canadiens, so far playing in the MHL, the lower league in Russia, putting up a 1.95 GAA and a 931 save percentage in 8 games over in Russia. So until he gets over to North America, we'll not know how well that Canadiens did on that draft pick, but he still looks like he could eventually maybe be a backup in a couple of years' time. So they were able to get him in the Toffoli trade, so they kept that pick. And the last piece of that deal was Emil Heineman. Heineman, who I think was originally a Florida Panthers draft pick a couple of years ago, has been bouncing around. He was traded to Calgary as part of the Bennett deal, and then traded to the Montreal Canadiens in the Toffoli deal. So he's been bouncing around. He's been mostly an AHL player. Last year, putting up 15 goals and 29 points in 45 AHL games with Laval. But this year, he finally got his first crack at the NHL level. He's actually worked out really well. He's been a bomb 6 forward so far, putting up 3 goals and 5 points in 16 games. Not an overly productive amount, but he's still a very young player. It looks like eventually could be a solid top 9 forward there for the Canadiens. So all in all, for the Canadiens, they don't have any other branches, at least at this point, added to that Toffoli trade. And they get Tyler Pitlick, who left as UFA the year after that trade. They get Filip Mesar, who looks like eventually could be a solid middle six forward. They get Logan, who I think eventually could be a solid backup there for the Canadiens if he comes over from Russia. And they get Emil Heineman, who looks at this point in time like he could be a solid middle six forward there for the Habs. So all in all, not a bad trade there for the Habs a couple of years back, and it sort of worked out well for them, especially with the picks of Heineman and Mesar. When it comes to Calgary Flames, they wound up taking Tyler Toffoli. He was in the middle of a 4-year deal with the Flames, so he went there with Calgary. He wound up putting up 11 goals and 23 points in 37 games with the Flames for the rest of that season. Helped them, I think, get to round 2 it was against the Edmonton Oilers. So he wound up working out pretty well, but they didn't help them win the cup or even get to the conference final for that matter. The following year, he would have a fantastic season, putting up 34 goals and 73 points in 82 games with the Calgary Flames. He worked out fantastically for the Flames, but the Flames did miss the playoffs that year. That was the beginning of what is now a rebuild for the Calgary Flames, and Toffoli was the first one of the major ones, Toffoli, Hanifin, Lindholm, who said that he was not going to re-sign with the Calgary Flames before the season started. So the Flames in the 2023 offseason wound up making a trade, and the trade was as follows. They moved Tyler Toffoli with a year left on his deal to the New Jersey Devils in exchange for Yegor Sharangovich and a 2023 third-round pick. So they wound up reacquiring their own 2023 third-round pick that they moved off in a previous deal, and they also got Yegor Sharangovich. Now for Sharangovich, he was coming off a pretty good season, putting up 30 points in 75 games with New Jersey. Last year, which was his first season with the Calgary Flames, he put up 31 goals, a career high, and 59 points, a career high, in 82 games. He worked out fantastically for the Flames. And then earlier in the 2024 offseason, they signed him to a 5-year extension with a fee of $5.75 million. Sharangovich will be a solid top 6 forward for years to come for the Calgary Flames. So far this year, there's 2 goals and 2 points in 10 games, so it hasn't worked out overly well this year. Not as good as last year, but he was coming off a season-opening injury, so he's probably going to take a little bit of time to get back up to speed. But Sharangovich looks like a fantastic pickup there for the Flames. And they also had the 2023 third-round pick. They wound up keeping that pick instead of moving it off, and they selected left winger Yegor Suniev, who's with 80th overall in the 2023 draft. Looks like a very fantastic prospect there for the Calgary Flames. Last year played in the NCAA, putting up 12 goals and 25 points in 36 games. So far this year, has 6 goals and 11 points in 11 games. He's a point per game over the NCAA. He's looking fantastic right now, so that could be a really good pickup there as well for the Calgary Flames. So they make out with the Toffoli deal pretty well with a couple of pieces they got from that. So all in all, when you look at what these two teams have right now, following the Toffoli deal back in 2022, for the Montreal Canadiens, they have Emil Heineman, Filip Mesar, and Volkanov in their system. They still have a prospect, potentially middle six forward, a potentially backup goaltender if he ever comes over from Russia, and a solid, at least for right now, bomb six forward who could eventually be a solid top 9 forward. And for the Calgary Flames, what they have right now from the Toffoli deal is a solid top 6 forward in Yegor Sharangovich, who's going to be a fantastic Flame going forward, and a young prospect in Yegor Suniev, who could eventually be maybe a solid middle six forward there for the Flames too. So I think both these teams worked out really well from the Toffoli deal, with the Flames having 2 really good pieces and the Canadiens having 3 pretty good pieces too. So definitely, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this deal down in the comment section below. What do you think about the Toffoli deal from a couple of years back? Was it a smart move from the Flames? Was it a bad move from the Habs? And if so, who do you think right now would have won this deal with all the pieces that they still have in their systems right now? Definitely love to hear your thoughts on all of that down in the comment section below. That's what I'm going to talk for today. Or until this video, if you're interested, or subscribe down below. Thank you for all your support. We're now with love you guys. So if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe button down below. Don't forget to leave a comment down in the comment section below so you can also see today's video. Also a blog talking about news, rumors, analysis, stuff that's, so check that out. Leave a link down in the description below. I can't see you guys all for next video. See you guys soon.